So the Phoenix Airport.
God bless you, 93rd, and God bless you, my Florida, with my president. God bless you. Hey, I tell you the story, Walter. My God. God bless you. She got her feet tied. You got your hand free to shake his hand?
It's a beautiful state. Hello. Nice to see you. Hi. How are you? Thanks for coming out. Hello. Oh dear.
So let's give it a
I don't know if I'm going to get the support of the Arizona Republic yet. Will you work on that? But listen, what I need is your support. We can win this election. We can make a major difference in this country. I just don't think it's satisfactory in the United States that we have the deep divisions that exist within our country at the present time. I don't think there should be the deep divisions between races.
Mr. Murphy. I'm with the BBC, the British Broadcasting.
On now.
in partnership with private industry and the federal government, we can make much more progress than we have in the past. I think we can do far, far better for those who are still suffering from deprivation here in the United States. I don't think any of us change. And I think that we can do far, far more to find a peace with honor in South Vietnam. I think we've looked upon that conflict as just a military conflict. We've looked upon it as an American war and nobody else's war. And the result is that we have carried the major burden of the fighting and the deaths and the killing in that part of the world, while the South Vietnamese have played less and less of a role. I think this is their war. We can help them, but we can't win it for them. I think there are three possibilities in Vietnam, and I know this is a matter of great concern to you people.
This is a shopping mall in Phoenix, Arizona.
Her great wife, Ethel.
That was great.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. And that was a very nice introduction, I think. I was wondering if you're going back to Washington on Monday, that perhaps you might go over to the White House and explain it to him like that. I think that would be a very interesting conversation. That was very convincing. You almost convinced me as I was sitting there. Mr. President, it's a good idea that this is going on. All those things Senator Kennedy's saying all over the West, that's good for you. It'll go over very well, Mo. So I appreciate it. I'm going to keep thinking about that as I go along. And as I get more and more trouble, I'm going to say, well, Mo Udall said it was a good idea. After 24 hours in Arizona, I was going to reassess my position again until I heard that speech. Actually, I came to Arizona to tell Barry Goldwater, bring him a message that Bill Miller is alive and living in division and discord within our country. I have also found enormous hope. Everywhere people are reaching, not for revenge, but for reconciliation. They seek solutions of friendship and not of force. They are calling on all of us, those of us in political life, for a new birth of those noble and spacious impulses that are the most enduring qualities of the American spirit. Everywhere, the first issue that I find discussed, and which is of greatest concern to people, is the war in Vietnam. The American people are deeply troubled by that war, and there's nothing that we can do in the Democratic Party to cover the fact that people are deeply troubled and deeply disturbed about the war in Southeast Asia. They're disturbed by the constant predictions of victory, which somehow lead only to more escalation, more American troops, and more American casualties. Having been involved in this myself in the years of 1961, 1962, and 1963, and having during that period of time made predictions of victory myself, I can understand their concern, and I can understand their being disturbed. What I hope, and what I think is so important, is that we learn from the lessons of the past. And the American people are deeply troubled, I believe, also by the cost of the war. The cost of all the sad destruction to the people of Vietnam, For the American people are not cruel and they're not insensitive to the sufferings of others. This is a compassionate and this is a very generous nation. Everywhere my travels, the Americans I have met do not want it said of us, as Tacitus said of Rome, they made a desert and they called it peace. The vast majority of people I have seen also know what they want done about this war. They want this war to be honorably settled at the conference table, not in some indefinite future, but while something still remains of the country of Vietnam and our own hopes for domestic progress. That which unites us, growth of satisfaction by our gross national product, by how many television sets we have, and how many people have color television. That there is something far more important in the United States of America. For if the gross national product now soars above $800 billion a year, still that counts air pollution and cigarette advertising and ambulances to clear our highways of carnage. It counts special locks for our doors, and it counts jails for the people who break them. It counts the destruction of the redwoods and the loss of natural wonder to chaotic sprawl. It counts napalm, and it counts nuclear weapons, and it counts armored cars for the police to fight riots in our cities. It counts Whitman's rifle, and it counts Speck's knife, and television programs which glorify violence in order to sell toys to our children. Or the integrity of our public officials. It measures neither our wit nor our courage, neither our wisdom nor our learning, neither our compassion nor our devotion to our country. It measures everything, in short, except that which makes life worthwhile. And it can tell us everything about America, except why we are proud to be Americans. So I believe what the American people are telling us, what we must understand and honor, is that our happiness will not come from the goods we have, but from the good that we can do together. That is the spirit that I have seen in the past 2 weeks. There is uncertainty and there is division, and that is apparent from Washington. But what is not apparent, but what can be seen and felt only by speaking and listening to people all across America, is this deep desire to reach across the false barriers that divide them, brothers and countrymen. They seek peace abroad, and they want reconciliation at home, and they want participation in the public life of our country. To fulfill these desires, I believe, is the task of our party, the Democratic Party. That is the kind of party, the kind of spirit that deserves to lead this nation, and the kind of leadership that this nation deserves. We have forged this spirit in the past, and we must do so again, for in that uncertain, dangerous future lies the way to our future greatness as a party and as a people. This is the faith which binds us together as Democrats. It is the faith that binds us together as Americans. It is the faith we shall find in others if we have the courage to find it in ourselves, so that we can look back and our children can look back upon this generation of Americans and say, joy was in those days, but to live. Thank you very much.